3 months ago, I thought this tier list is a good idea, and you can check out now being ABX and ABL meta. So yeah, I was wrong. Let's see this time. Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through a tier list for all tier 4's video, and there are more than 80 with new uniforms, reworks, a lot of characters are around. And last time I did my tier list was like 2nd of December of 2024, so this is the first time I'm going into into 2025 to give you my point of view on how the meta looks like for all game modes. As you can see in the previous tier list, I wasn't that successful. I was trying to guess the place of Null, and I put him in front on ABX and ABL meta. I was wishing for something like this, but yeah, that's not true. That's not true. So yeah, let's see how the meta tier list should look like right now. I'm gonna go through all characters. I'm gonna tell you what's the best CTPs to use for PvP or PvE, and what's the reason I actually put the character into this category, and how I feel about, generally the rework he too recent, or the use you should pick to do with him, how you should use him. So let's go into the same tier list, exactly the same names, I think to Chasey Boy, I have this awesome tier list now. It was his idea. I need to move my head here, because we need to go exactly into the corner. This is the old one, so let's see an empty one. So yeah guys, before we go through that guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this tier list, and if you believe that something was the big surprise from the characters that we just took, or whatever you wanna say about on that. Let's go and start from somewhere. You can see all the categories. Let me explain really fast. It's actually meta PvP strikers, the best strikers to use on characters for PvP. Meta tier 4 strikers for PvE. This is for PvE. I'm not mentioning it, but yeah, it's for PvE. ABX and ABL meta means characters that they are having a lot of stages, a lot of days that you can use for ABX and ABL. The fourth is ABL only. After ABX only, Rifts and Despots means the farmer category. Support meta, the characters that gives you a support buff that it's unique or you need it. Timeline meta, Otherworld battle meta, and there are the outdated also. I'm gonna tell you about the outdated timeline meta, and Otherworld battle meta actually is the main characters on timeline meta, is the main PvP characters that are used right now, and the secondary tier of the characters are for Alliance Conquest and Otherworld battle, which is the OWB, I'm saying, and AC. World Boss Legend meta are the characters that don't have a lot of stages for ABX and ABL, but you need to consider that the ABX and ABL meta characters are really strong for World Boss Legend also, but I have them above, because they are really useful, and you should focus on them to get extra materials from Alliance Battle daily. To be honest, I wanted to start, the video with the old tier list, but believe it or not, even for strikers, a lot of things have changed. So let's start from somewhere, and let's see actually all the characters. You can see there are 81 unique characters, double uniforms or uniforms, etc. There is a lot of stuff to do, so let's start from character by character. Yeah, I'm gonna go character by character. Actually, this is the smartest way to go. We're starting with Jean Grey. Jean Grey, guys, it's really strong character. She is really strong for ABL and ABX, but mainly at this point she is an ABX meta. She is an ABX meta only because for ABL the same day you have Wanda, that Wanda can score better than her at most, most of the content. She's also really strong for World Boss Legend, and I want to mention that with a Mighty Raids or a Mighty Judgment, she can do equally all game modes. First you want to go raids for ABX and ABL if you want to use here, but also the raids for World Boss Legend, it's quite strong. I just cleared stage 34 of the new World Boss Legend with her, and in my mind it does not worth to go into PvP with her. She's really strong for Alliance Conquest and other world battle, but only that, and you should not invest on building her for PvP. So let's go for the next one, Magneto. Magneto took a huge hit from, and went like this from the meta. Right now he's kind of cool for World Boss Legend, so I'm gonna drop him here for the World Boss Legend meta. Actually, he went way worse than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange feels like way better character, and the point at the point that Doctor Strange is not just better blast villain for ABX and ABL, he's just the best in the game right now to do damage for 3 days, etc, etc. ABL, at least he is the number one, no doubt. He is an only raids character, you can't actually use him with anything else, but yeah, he's really bad right now. At this point he is mid character actually. Mystique is really a nice character to go for if you care about World Boss Legend Plus as a support that can support you, for all characters, support you against villain and against heroes. So whatever you have, you can use here. After that, we're going into Rogue, and Rogue fall after Psylocke came into the game. She's not the best for any ABL day or something, but still she is one of the best characters to farm rifts specific, and also in a laser extent dispatch. For dispatch there are a lot of characters, I'm gonna mention them, but yes, Rogue at this point, she's really strong for World Boss Legend, no doubt. CDP of Judgment is the best for her. For Mystique, she was really good for ABX, but after the latest characters we took, Gwenpool and Bullseye, she is way worse, so there is no competition here. She's only support, so an Insight or Liberation to help you for World Boss Legend Plus. As for Rogue, I told you Judgment or a Raids if you use her still for ABL. After that, we have Black Panther, who is outdated. Carnage old uniform, it's a cool character to use for other world battle and Alliance Conquest. Dr. Octopus, he is here, but he's falling behind after lately, we took Bucky doing kind of similar, kind of lower, but way easier. Hulk, way better than him at most cases. But yes, let's go and see the rest, and you're gonna see how he feels. So outdated are all these characters. Iron Man has still value in my mind, for World Boss. You can go with him, he's quite strong. So I'm gonna put the new uniform because it's easier generally to play at the World Boss Legend meta. Luna Snow, yeah, of course, Luna Snow, she can't be behind our dude here, Dr. Octopus. She is the best character to go for multiple stages of ABL with this uniform, and for ABX with the previous uniform, the Life Series 1. Yeah, it's easier to go with this one, but right now, as I told you, I am right now leader of Fantastic 40, and we are aiming to push, more and more Alliance battle scores. So the old Luna, if you play proper, it's better than this Luna for ABX, and only ABX and nothing else. For the rest of the content, ABL and World Boss Legend, this uniform, it's crazy good. And that's why she's gonna stay there at first or second here. Hulk, way easier to play than Dr. Octopus. This myth that you need to have a specific amount of HP to use him, whatever, no, lame guys, raids character, 100, all these characters actually are raids characters. I forget to mention, I would go for a proc for Iron Man, I would go for an egg for Carnage. Here, yeah, do not equip CTPs, or if you want to equip something like raids or mighty destruction would be nice. So as for Hulk, a raids is one way. If you want to have all the value of ABX and ABL, Hulk is there. He can provide you like super cool and super easy without having a special build. Mighty Raids does not fall behind of Brilliant Raids. It's adding a score, but not that much. So he is still one of the best characters. Shadow Cell can be, you know, for Alliance Conquest meta perhaps, but yeah, it's a long shot. So she is outdated. Spider-Gwen, outdated. She's close to Shadow Cell at this point. Her performance doesn't really worth going for her. And let's go to Ghost Rider, and one of the best strikers in the game, the best striker in the game for ABL specifically, with a brilliant raid that has 1.2 proc. This is something that you want only for ABL, you know, as a striker, or a Mighty Raids or a Mighty Judgment. But Judgment, Mighty Judgment or Brilliant Judgment with high proc like 200 or 240 are the best to use for ABX multiple seasons, like the burn season that no one else doing burn, or the paralysis season. Some characters does not have paralysis, and there are not a lot of options to go through that. Of course, guys, I'm not dropping him into the other places, but Ghost Rider used to be really strong for ABX and ABL. He's falling behind on that. He's not that good, but still I'm clearing World Boss Legend with him, with the striker build having all attack on the CTP. So he is massively good. I really like him for World Boss Legend, but the main use to go for it's the meta tier for striker. Loki, still one of the best characters to go and equip a Brilliant Raids, not only because he is getting a huge buff from Mighty Raids to Brilliant Raids, but also because he is used in 2 days of ABL. So you need to count these things, you know. Luna is used on like 3 or 4 in a period of 2 weeks, but Loki is on 2 days. Hulk also is on 2 days of ABL, and because ABL gives you better rewards generally, you know, because of the tier 4 materials, you want to have Loki into your the best characters you have built. He's really hard to play, but still, if you manage to you know, to make him work, he's doing miracles even at level 80. Ebony Maw, of course, is a support kind of. I'm tempted to drop him into outdated because no one is building him, because no one is using him seriously. Really a character that came and support characters against Universal, and there are not Universal World Boss Legend Plus, so no one tier 4ing him to get advantage through that. Odin, still really a powerhouse for World Boss Legend. I would put him in front of these two. He has a lot of tags and he is really strong. 100% worth it. Thanos would go into the top of other world battle and Alliance Conquest meta only because he is, you know, he doesn't have immortality, he doesn't have revive. He's really strong still, but there are others right now being the best characters. Specifically, Farmos is also really strong and really important for the same reason that Loki is, and way easier than Loki to play. But in your bad day of Loki, you can do your, you know, better score than your best score of Thanos. Thanos is also really strong for World Boss Legend compared to Loki, but yeah, it is what it is. Old Uniform Logan, he is a powerhouse still, even for Timeline Battle, but most of the people you're gonna see using this uniform, it's on Alliance Conquest or other world battle game modes that they are on auto, and this uniform has more iframes and have the character jumping around, so you're not actually you know, using the character is played by himself. For the manual and the damage and any use for PvE, the newest uniform is way better, and he is timeline battle meta still, I would say. Even if there's not a lot of people and only if Null or Sentry or Silver Surfer are banned, you can see him here and there. But generally speaking, he has nothing to jealous of really end game characters like Carnage. However, Logan is not the best only for that, so I duplicate his icon and I have it again here because he ended up being the best striker for ABX and PvP and a lot of things, guys. He is the best damage-wise striker at this point in the game with a brilliant energy. Specifically, he is slashing through enemies, he is doing miracles. He has a knife from ignore, and as a striker he is really important. And this place here next to Ghost Rider, believe me, it's huge. For sure he's better for ABX, he's better for World Boss Legend, he's better for PvP too. But yes, it's an all-arounder like Ghost Rider, so I have him with a brilliant energy right now. I'm using him for World Boss Legend, I'm using him for PvP. He is pulling out crazy numbers. Wolverine is one of the characters that you can use actually with any CDP, so whatever you wanna push on, you know, PvP, PvE, you should pick the specific CDP. For PvP, let's say Mighty Conquest or Mighty Greed are the two best, and for PvP, of course, Energy, as I already told you, or Raids, if you don't care about his use as striker, is perhaps the very next second best. And for timeline battle, as I told you, he's really strong. Old Doctor Strange, outdated. Cyclops, yeah, he is one of the worst still. Storm, it's a powerhouse, guys. She is really strong for World Boss Legend. She used to be meta for ABL too, but at this point I feel like Psylocke and other characters like Gambit and Wolverine for Mutant and, you know, Blast or Blast Female are way better than her, so I would put her here because her buff it's way more important than Mystique. From the other side, Mystique is for more characters, she's only for elemental, but damage wise she is one of the best. Hulk, Alliance Conquest and other world battle with this uniform, you can see him here and there getting some value. He's really strong as a striker too, but yes, I'm gonna drop him here because I feel like this is the best place to go. Thor, the new Thor uniform, it's a powerhouse for dispatch at this point, guys. He is really strong specifically for sector 14 of dispatch. If you use him with the lead of Doctor Strange and Loki perhaps, he's really strong. Really good for World Boss Legend meta too, but that doesn't really worth invest on him if you don't care about farming. He is a farmer and no doubt, you know, he's really nice. Old Captain America is actually old Sar, old Venom, old Sarah Rogers. To be honest, old Sarah Rogers with new Sarah Rogers is not like having a huge difference, but yes, old Sarah Rogers at this point, it's, you know, worse than the new Sarah Rogers, so I'm putting her here and the new is going to go into World Boss Legend meta. Same thing for Star-Lord. Star-Lord, guys, is one of the best alternatives for free-to-play instead of using Gladiator for ABL, actually. So he is not really, he's not a joke, you know, he's really strong. But yes, you have to consider some facts that Gladiator is way better, like 3 million better. So yeah, you can hit 12, but you need to push your account. After that, let's go. Old Black Widow. Black Widow is behind Wolverine damage-wise as a striker for ABX. She's cool for World Boss Legend, but at this point, people only using her as a striker for ABX. And the new uniform feels to be better for PvP. The new uniform, it's really strong for other world battle and Alliance Conquest. Here it's a brilliant energy territory, but here you can use with a lot of PvP CTPs like Authority, Mighty, you know, Mighty Conquest or Mighty Greed. You're gonna see a lot of people using her with different uniforms. She is still doing it and still worth. Spider-Man, it's actually a really strong PvP, you know, striker, tier 4 PvP striker, still with his old uniform. Miles Morales is really strong for World Boss Legend meta. He is still one of the strongest characters to use there from the male speed. Black Bolt, I'm gonna put him here. He has some value because on Sector 14 you need to have a tier 4 of him and some other Inhumans to go and complete this, but doesn't really worth to spend a tier 4 for that only in my book. You know, I haven't tier 4 him. But yes, he's really strong. You can use him with a proc, you can use him with raids. He's way easier with raids. With a proc, he's gonna be kind of painful to go through, but totally worth in both situations. Captain Marvel, she's not outdated 100%, but she's worse than Wanda, and that says everything you need to know. You don't want her for ABL, you don't want her for ABX, you don't want her generally. Wanda is the best to go, but for World Boss Legend, she has some value because there are a lot of stages that you can use here. She's a raids character only, and everything else, it's a struggle. Thor, with this uniform, it's the second best striker for specifically ABL only, because he has the soak ability on his 4th skill, and his 4th skill is his striking ability. He's pulling out a lot of damage, you need a rage on him. Other than that, he is worse than the new uniform in all game modes. So the new uniform can give you some value. ABL, World Boss Legend, Rifts, these spots. This one, it's striker only, and he's crazy good. Sentry is the second best character at this point for PvP. But yes, he fall a lot. A CDP of Conquest, Mighty, or a Mighty Grid are the best. But he was a king and now he isn't. And that's all you need to know about him. Hela is a support meta for PvP. You have, damage against heroes with her uniform. You don't need her to be tier 4 actually. But she gives you some really nice, I could put her here, Otherworld Battle and Lance Conquest meta too, because she's strong herself with the Immortality artifact. But yes, if you don't have this Immortality artifact, she's kind of useless. Same thing for all the Immortality characters, guys. I didn't mention that, but characters like Carnage and Wolverine, they need their artifact, or else you can't go and play PvP with them. There are not a lot of other characters that you can't use here them without the artifact. An example is Ghost Rider. You can use him, absolutely you can use him without the artifact because he's good as a striker. So any of PvE does not actually need their artifacts, they are cool without it. Another example is Madeline here. He's like here perhaps, but yeah, she needs her artifact too. It's an immortality. Beta Ray Bill is one of the best supports to have for ABL actually. Worth going tier 4 with him because of his striking ability. If you have Gladiator as your main damage, if you miss Gladiator, he perhaps is the second best. He's better than Star-Lord, but the main use at this point is him having an energy CTP, being tier 4, helping you as a striker while you're hitting with your Gladiator. His striking hits are real high if he's tier 4 and having a proc like an energy. The other character you are using in this day, besides Gladiator is Yondu, and Yondu gives the support buff. He gives you extra support buff. He has a lead for fire too, but you're not gonna find any stages to use him, let's say with Jin. It's only a few that are universals, but there are only a few stages that you can combine his lead. So he is support, but really strong if you miss main characters like, as I told you, Gladiator. Here, Angel is a support only character, no value, Insight is the way. Gamora, a World Boss Legend meta, a really strong character without her last uniform, and with her last uniform, she is ABX only meta 100%. She is close to Luna. If you don't have Luna Snow, build it. If you don't have old uniform of Luna and you only have the new uniform of Luna, or you don't have Luna at all, Gamora is the best character to use for all ABX days. But the best, way better than the second. If you go and see Level 80, I was pulling out 14 million with an energy, a mighty energy at level 80. She's hitting 18 million, easy peasy, even with an energy at tier 4. She is a powerhouse, a lot of people sleeping on her, and she also has crazy value for World Boss Legend as her old uniform. This is Alliance Conquest only character, and you need Sunbird to perform. Professor X, yeah, who cares? Wanda, ABLX meta. She's doing both, and she absolutely need a raid, or else she is not hitting it. She's not that good outside that. But yes, here guys, as you can see, there are so many characters that they are both good for ABX and ABL, because they have multiple days that you can use them for both. Loki also really strong for ABX, do not sleep on him, and his alternative is somehow Thanos, but Thanos main use is for ABL, I guess. You know, if you hate Loki, so he's only ABL here. He's strong for World Boss Legend too, but I'm not suggesting you to use him the day of ABL because Jean is doing way better for ABX. So yeah, let him here. Quicksilver, really strong. I would put him around here, let's say. Yeah, Angel needs this uniform to perform, or else he can't do the removal debuffs. Gladiator, really strong character, also one of the best for ABX and ABL. He can be used you know, for combat hero day of ABX or ABL, the alien something day. You can go there with him. He is the best as lead. Raid only character. Everything else, you know, if you're gonna go PvP, a lot of people using him with a regen or a mighty conquest. But yes, I'm talking about ABL and ABX, and World Boss Legend. He's not that good, but still worth going for him. Mr. Fantastic, still a PvP unit only if he has his son with the artifact, but if he has, he's kind of strong. Same thing his wife. He is actually, both of them are support metas, Angel and here. But yes, I'm gonna include them here because the main use are Otherworld Battle, removal debuff. Human Torch, a powerhouse for World Boss Legend, really same that he doesn't have anything else to fit in the game right now. Doctor Doom, right here, Alliance Conquest and Otherworld Battle. Deadpool 2, I would go like this, perhaps. Yeah, guys, Black Widow is really strong, to be honest. But I'm not sure about the positioning here. It's, yeah, really bad. Deadpool, the uniform. Psylocke is really strong. ABL, C can deliver for both Blast Mutant and Female Mutant days. So she totally worth investing on her and put a brilliant raid. She's also really strong for World Boss Legend and really strong as a Rift and Dispatch. But I'm not gonna include her here because there are others better. And she used to be the #1 striker for silence for ABX. If your character does not have silence, you should include Psylocke here and put her in. But at this point, Gabid exists and he is better than her. For ABL, but also as a striker. Gwenpool, she was ABX meta only, and to be honest, she was and she is the #1 character to use as a free-to-play for ABL. But at this point, she is worse than Bullseye by a small amount. But the small amount, it's like 500,000. 500,000 is a big amount actually, so in the high rankings, you know. So I would put her around here. Actually, I'm putting here without being the best for anything at this point, but because she is the free-to-play best option with Gamora, you know, Gamora Gunpool, this duo is really strong to cover all days of ABL and all days for ABX, and they are the second best after Luna. Still, if you have Luna with the old uniform for ABX, perhaps with a brilliant raid, yeah, this is a long shot. I'm not even telling you that. Yeah. War Machine took a uniform that supports only a few characters again, so yeah, he is not good at all on anything. X23 absolute needs here artifact and still does not, it is not that cool. C is like immortality but not exactly, so that sucks. Adam Warlock still one of the best to use for challenger, you know, the revive and the situation that he is the only blast to check the combat types, like you know, like Wolverine or Carnage. We're gonna talk about him later on. Apocalypse really strong for Otherworld Battle and Alliance Conquest 2, as he is Captain America. Captain America, guys, it's a menace. He's crazy strong for Otherworld Battle. Of course, you need Hex to have with him. You know, these two characters goes together, and one more character that goes together, and I include him even if he took the uniform before he gets the tier 4. This trio, guys, is so strong. For Otherworld Battle, you can include anyone else together, you know, and these three can deliver. I'm even putting Wong on this. You know, Wong is in a laser extent. You can skip him, he's bad. And I'm even putting a Doctor Strange, but yes, of course, Doctor Strange place is here. We're gonna talk about Doctor Strange. But these three guys, these three, if you have here, they get an immortality. Captain America also the best character to use as a villain human combat, specifically, you know, he is the best for World Boss Legend. I thought I can have that with Winter Soldier, but he is way better. New Spider-Man, still an Otherworld Battle meta character and Alliance Conquest, really strong, but nothing close to as strong as I thought. And yeah, he is around here in my mind. New Venom is crazy good. He is my favorite character to play World Boss Legend, and he's really strong for Alliance Battle too. You know, for ABX and ABL, but not close to Gladiator or Hulks and stuff like that. But he is the best for World Boss Legend in my roster, 100%. I believe that. And yes, oh, by the way, this is the old Apocalypse, this is the new Apocalypse. Why I have the old, I'm not sure. Yeah, Venom here, raids only character. Agent Venom, believe it or not, I'm gonna include him into meta of Timeline Battle. He's a support, I know, but believe me, guys, the days that Timeline Battle has banned Agent Venom, nulls cry all over the place. They are way worse without him. He's giving crazy value to nulls at this point that I'm including him here, and I'm telling you that he is so better without you know, he's so worse without the Agent Venom. So I'm gonna include him here. You don't need him to have him tier 4, but you need his artifact and his uniform. In my mind, Timeline Battle would be totally different if he wasn't in the game right now, and it is if he is banned. Silver Surfer also took a huge boost because of Null, and I would put him right now here because he helps giving some you know, defensive stats to your Null. You can play manual and do a lot of counter attack or reflect to the enemies, and also you can include him into Agent Venom buff and Null. Null still the number 1 into Timeline Battle. He actually just came and like 2 months ago, and he's still destroying everything. There is nothing close to him. You need to consider that Sentry perhaps gonna get something 2 months from now because of the movie Thunderbolts. But yes. After that, I want to mention also Carnage, who is a massive menace right now for Timeline Battle, for Otherworld Battle, for Alliance Conquest. I would put him perhaps here. I'm not sure where to put him, but yes, he is so strong. He's so strong, and he is even killing Wolverine. He's, you know, he's losing from characters like Sentry and Null, specifically because he doesn't have the super guard break immunity, and they have some super guard break skills. Well, he is off the super guard break immunity of his CDP. I would use him with anything that has super guard break immunity. Actually, For now, Mighty Greed and Mighty Conquest is the way. Adam Warlock, Mighty Greed, Mighty Conquest, or an Energy. Agent Venom, of course, he's a support, so Insight or Liberation. And for Silver Surfer, I would say Mighty Conquest or generally Brilliant Conquest, and then an Egg are the two best to use. Other than that, Maya Lopez, it's cool for Otherworld Battle. If you go against her on Alliance Conquest, you're gonna cry, guys. She's so strong at tier 4. Ant-Man, okay, I'm gonna put him here just for a friend. You know who you are out there. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. Falcon, it's really strong, but he didn't add anything to his, with his new uniform. He gets some damage, but still he is mid here. But as I told you, for Otherworld Battle, his old uniform, it's really strong. Magic, I would include here into Timeline Battle, but yeah, perhaps he is in the top of this. She's bugged for Otherworld Battle, but for Alliance Conquest and manual Timeline Battle, she's really strong. So I would put her somewhere here, perhaps. Then we're going into Gambit, and Gambit is ABL meta only, but in the same time, he's really strong, as I told you, as a striker, the best striker to go for Silent Season. So let's go into actually let's check the strikers at this point, because I have Gambit, as I told you, for ABL, but he's also at Silent Season the #1 striker to use for ABX specifically. I haven't included the PvP meta characters for strikers, and Carnage, guys, it's the #1. Carnage is the best, the #1 character to use at this point for PvP striking wise. After that, there are other characters, as I told you, Wolverine, Spider-Man, with this uniform or with the other uniform, but this seems to have the web effect that helps a lot more than other. And also Silver Surfer end up being a really strong character to use, as meta to use. Also Thanos is a really good striker. Yeah, I'm not gonna include him here because I don't feel like he is the best on anything. Doctor Strange, as I told you before, he's really strong for dispatch and rifts. There are a lot of characters for dispatch specifically, but he is the #1 at this point. With Loki and Thor and some others, he can do the fastest run in my account at least. It's 1.2 and 1 minute and 20 seconds for stage 14.2 or 14.1. Both of them are pretty much equal for my account at least. Hawkeye took a rework, but he's not that good. That's the title. He is behind Falcon, but still close, and they are both kind of same or worse than Miles. This is disgusting. Yeah, I know. Sarah Rogers still the #1 of this. She can do a lot, but Venom is way easier to do that a lot. She's after, and yeah, these 3 or 4 characters are so cool to play World Boss Legend. Cable, at this point, he's kind of outdated and he's falling behind. He's really strong, but he's not that strong as others. So I would put him here. Doesn't really worth invest on him at this point if you have Gambit. Here is the ABX only meta character, and he is the best character to use for speed villain day. Easy peasy, raids user, you absolute need raids. Doctor Strange, yes, I told you about dispatch, but for ABL and ABX, guys, he's the #1. He's the #1 for no restrictions. He's the #1 generally. His damage output is crazy. For World Boss Legend, GBR, ABX, ABL, he's massively good. He is destroying everything. You're not gonna see anyone else doing that much damage in PvE at this point right now. Namor, it's really solid, but worse than Cable, so I would put him for World Boss Legend because he has some interesting tags, to be honest. And Nicholas Fury, we just took a sneak peek there. I guess he's gonna go somewhere like here. Yeah, he's gonna go into this skyrocket into the support meta because he's gonna be the only tier 4 character having a lead, support, and artifact for a big, you know, for a big amount of characters. I mean, this is only for Alien. This is for all, but it's only this is Alien Fire. You can't go lead and support only for him. This is for a lot of characters, covering all characters, but it's only a support. This is only a support for elemental characters. Only support against universal, you know? You see what I'm saying? He's gonna cover all heroes. And some other no heroes. I think his passive or his artifact is for all, not only hero, but I'm not sure. But still, if he covers all heroes are half and even more from your account. So if you have him tier 4, you're gonna cover all these stages of World Boss Legend plus, and he already have command. I think he has also Weapon Master and leadership. But yes, we have to figure out that after we get his new uniform. So this is how my tier list looks like. A lot of characters fits in more places, like Wolverine could fit here, and as I explained you, ABL, ABX characters are really strong for World Boss Legend. Only some exceptions like Wanda and Loki are mid, but the rest, you know, and Gladiator, yeah. Okay. Ask me down below in the comments if you have anything to ask on the tier list. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I explained everything I said about artifacts, I said about CDPs. If I missed something, let me know down below in the comments your opinion or what you wanna learn about the current meta in the game. I covered all aspects, all game modes. That's it. Hope I help you decide who is gonna be your next tier 4. See you into the next or not. Kisses in your faces.